You search for agency management software, 3 names keep coming up: Celoxis, FunctionPoint, Workbook. Celoxis promises enterprise portfolio management with financial tracking and risk analysis. FunctionPoint promises all-in-one agency management with deep QuickBooks integration. Workbook promises comprehensive creative agency management backed by Deltek, one of the biggest names in enterprise project software. Seems straightforward? Then you dig deeper. Celoxis has a broken scheduling feature that undermines its core value. FunctionPoint's interface requires so many clicks that users describe it as exhausting. And Workbook's UI has not been meaningfully updated in over a decade. Here's what the demo calls don't mention. Celoxis was founded in 2001 out of Pune, India. Over 2,800 customers, including Fortune 100 companies. It covers resource management, Gantt charts, portfolio management, financial tracking, risk management, and custom workflows with both cloud and on-premise deployment options. For organizations that need project portfolio management, beyond what simple agency tools offer, Celoxis provides depth at a price point below its enterprise competitors. But the depth is undermined by execution problems. The interface is cluttered and the learning curve is steep. The critical path feature is broken, which multiple users have flagged as the single biggest issue with the platform. A 30-day trial is not long enough to evaluate software this complex. There is a documented case where a buyer was denied a $3,000 refund after discovering that sales promises required paid consulting to implement, and support is limited to a knowledge base and paid training with no direct phone or email contact for most customers. Celoxis has enterprise ambitions, but the broken core feature, limited support, and sales process concerns create a gap between what is promised and what is delivered that is difficult to ignore. For a platform with over 20 years of development, these are not growing pains, these are choices. So what about a platform built specifically for creative agencies? FunctionPoint was founded in 1993 out of Vancouver. Over 500 agencies use it. It was later acquired by Valaris Group. The platform covers project management, time tracking, resource scheduling, and invoicing. The standout is QuickBooks integration. For agencies where QuickBooks is the financial backbone, FunctionPoint connects project data directly to accounting without manual, exports, or reconciliation. That single integration is the primary reason most agencies choose it. But the daily experience is where frustration builds. The interface is dated and clunky. Users complain about excessive clicking to complete basic tasks. Dialog boxes appear in positions that cover the fields you are trying to work with, which sounds minor until it happens dozens of times a day. The platform tries to do everything but executes unevenly across features. The learning curve is steep, mobile is weak, and the Valaris Group acquisition raises the ongoing question of whether the product roadmap is being driven by user needs or by portfolio optimization. For a tool that has been around for over 30 years, the interface problems feel like they should have been solved a long time ago. FunctionPoint delivers on the QuickBooks promise, but every other part of the daily experience makes you pay for that. Integration with friction and frustration that a platform this mature should have solved years ago. So what about something with enterprise backing? Workbook is owned by Deltek, one of the largest enterprise project management companies in the world. It was founded in 2006 and targets mid to large creative agencies, primarily in the UK and Europe. It covers CRM, project management, resource planning, time tracking, and financial management. For agencies between 20 and 200 people that need the depth of an enterprise system without building one from scratch, Workbook offers a feature set that simpler agency tools do not match. UK and European agencies appreciate the comprehensive capabilities and the Deltek name behind it. For organizations in regulated industries or those working with enterprise clients, having Deltek ownership can add credibility. But the user experience tells a different story. The interface is described by users as not having been updated in over 10 years. The learning curve is steep and implementation typically takes months. Pricing is enterprise grade, which makes it expensive for smaller agencies. Deltek ownership means product decisions tend to favor large enterprise contracts over improvements to the day-to-day user experience. Support is UK and European focused, which creates time zone gaps for US-based teams, and the feature depth that makes it powerful for large agencies is overwhelming for teams with simpler needs. Workbook delivers enterprise-grade agency management, but the dated interface, long implementation timeline, and enterprise pricing mean it only makes sense for agencies large enough to absorb that investment. Right, so here's where I land. Celoxis is the portfolio management pick. The most affordable of the three, with genuine depth in portfolio tracking, resource management, and financial analysis. On-premise deployment remains a real differentiator, but the broken critical path feature is a deal-breaker for scheduling-dependent teams. The cluttered interface, steep learning curve, and support model with no direct contact make the lower price less compelling once you account for the time spent working around the limitations. Best for mid to large organizations between 50 and 200 people who need portfolio-level management at a lower price point and do not depend on critical path methodology. Function Point is the QuickBooks agency pick. If your agency lives and dies by QuickBooks and you need project data flowing directly into your accounting system without manual work, Function Point delivers that connection better than anything else in this comparison. But the clunky interface, excessive clicking, poorly positioned dialog boxes, steep learning curve, weak mobile experience, and Valaris acquisition uncertainty make the daily experience harder than a platform this mature should be. Best for QuickBooks-dependent creative agencies between 20 and 50 people who work primarily from desktop and can tolerate interface friction for accounting integration. Workbook is the enterprise agency pick. Deltek backing, comprehensive features, and the kind of depth that mid-market tools do not offer. For large UK and European agencies that need CRM, project management, resource planning, and financial management in one enterprise-grade system, Workbook is a serious option. But the interface that has not been updated in a decade, months-long implementations, enterprise pricing, and UK-centric support make it a heavy investment that only pays off at scale. Best for UK and European creative agencies between 50 and 200 people who need enterprise-grade agency management and have the budget and timeline to absorb a complex implementation. One affordable but flawed at the foundation, one focused but frustrating daily, one comprehensive but a decade behind on design. Every choice is a trade-off. At least now you know what you're trading.